Today, Electromaker is here at Hardware Pioneers 2023, and I'm joined by Steve from Sony. And it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Robin.
And today we're going to be looking at their Spresense Microcontroller board. So, Steve, could you just give us a bit of a background of what this microcontroller board is and what it does for the customer?
Yes, so this is a microcontroller system that we deliver with an ecosystem of software. The idea is that it's a very low power IoT platform. So we have the microcontroller itself with an extension board, and then we do an ecosystem around it. So cameras, GPS chips, we have the LTE connectivity, and the chip itself that's on the Spresense system it's a lot of sensing in it. So you've got quite a powerful microcontroller, but in addition you have things like audio codec, image processing functions, and so on. So the idea is it's extremely low power, but you get the power to do processing power to do the.
Now, am I correct in thinking that this has not been released yet?
So the Spresense board has been around a while.
Right.
You can buy that from a few distributors.
Yep.
What's new today is the GPS add-on board, which is the top board on here. So we've now added our powerful GPS chip that's very low power. The idea is that people can then purchase this and do their own evaluations, and then move on to embedding that product into their products.
Now, even though you've got a large EMI shield there, if I remember correctly, you said it was a 3x3 chip, was it?
It's a very small chip. So originally, our main business for our GNSS chip is in wearables, particularly sports wearables. So the brands like Garmin, Polar, Fitbit, and so on. The reason for that, it's very small, accuracy is very high, but power consumption is very low. And that leads to a long battery life when you're doing your running and your cycling. What we've been doing the last few years is expanding that business into trackers. A lot of trackers are becoming battery driven. They need long life, but they need to be small. So like your dog trackers, cats, assets, vehicles, etc. It's very important to have this battery life, but equally to have the accuracy.
And now, on the topic of batteries, if you've got a tracker that has to use one battery, this is the part that caught me off guard. You said the radio circuitry is half a volt.
Yes, that's correct. So the way we get very low power is we have a very low voltage RF technology. That means you can have continuous tracking, but at very low power. So sometimes with other devices you can get low power, but you're only tracking your position once an hour or once a day or something. But this is continuous tracking once every second, 10 times a second. But because of the low voltage RF, the power consumption is kept very low, into a few milliwatts.
And hence that's why one of the applications you mentioned was things like pets. So, a pet might be lost in the forest, it's running around, and the low voltage, but the continuous tracking allows you to see exactly where it's going.
Exactly that. And also with pets, you need the device to be light. So the battery needs to be small because you don't want to interfere with a pet too much, but equally you need that power consumption. And that applies to sports wearables, it applies to bike trackers and anything where the battery itself needs to be small, but the life of the battery needs to be long. And that's the purpose.
Now, you also mentioned about software. Could you just sort of go into a bit more depth about that?
Yeah, so we have an embedded firmware on the device itself. There is multiple algorithms there. So if you have running mode, drive mode, swim mode, all these different things with the GPS. So that aids the position. But the Spresense platform is delivered with you can download a big software ecosystem and development kits. We run the Arduino development kit, can be used with this. But equally we have our own C++ embedded environment, so people can use that as well. So there's lots of examples online.
So just before we wrap this video up, for the viewers out there, if they wanted to get into this into the Sony Spresense board, what would you recommend they do?
They go on the websites, look for Sony Spresense, get a good look at the ecosystem, all the examples that are already written by other people. There's a big ecosystem out there. We organise hackathons with universities and so on. And then the board itself can be purchased by many distributors. Purchase the board and then start developing.
That's absolutely fantastic. It was a pleasure to meet you, Steve, today, and Steve from Sony. And for those out there who are watching this video, if you want to get your hands on one of these boards or want to know more about it, check the link in the description.